All right, kids, you can tell when something has gone down just by the notes that are left behind after the fact, right? Sometimes stuff has to happen multiple times before reminders are necessary. Other times, once was enough. Well, with that said,
here are 5 things that I would add or change about social media if I was the one in charge. Number 1, comment blocking. Now, I know you're going to say we already got comment blocking, but no. I'm saying comment blocking until the viewer watches the entire video. Yeah, I know some of y'all sick. I'm so tired of knee-jerk reactions. I'm so tired of Insta comments because people think they got the point in the first 10 seconds when I explained it at the end of the video. Okay?
Today we're going to talk about you for not watching my entire video or leaving a comment before getting to the end, because Preemie Sterling is right with the first thing he said. I don't know about the other 4 things. I didn't finish. However, the difference is I didn't come to a conclusion about his content before it was complete and then complain to him about it. For example, I made an episode about Afro Man a few weeks ago when I did not say that he was MAGA. And again, he isn't. Yeah, the thumbnail features a picture of Afro Man from the past surrounded by pictures of him with Trump in the present, while the title is I Can't Believe Blank is MAGA. And I guess that says more than what I actually said at the 15-minute, 20-second mark. Joseph Foreman is not MAGA. Look, it's one thing if you missed or didn't make it to that point. It's another if you looked at my comment section instead of watching my video at all, admitting to me that's what you did. And then, you can tell me to shut up and call me a deranged goober, but you can't correct me about Joseph Foreman's political leanings. On Apollos Hester's internet, I had them in the first half and I won. Not gonna lie. And this was far from the only time I got a comment like that. I started wondering if I gotta come up with a way to keep some of y'all honest until I make my point. So I encourage you to watch this video in the background while driving or doing chores or taking a shower or something. Mix my voice with some Sade music and let's have an experience. Therefore, your hands are too busy to comment. Get your mind out of the gutter to keep you from commenting the wrong thing at the wrong time and to keep you from backing out of this bad boy. So to my non-subscribers and non-members of this channel, don't make me tap the sign.
Y'all, from now on, new rule with engaging with me, don't comment until you finish the fucking video. Shut the fuck up until the video is done.
So, too many new and casual and even regular viewers don't watch my videos all the way through. It's a problem everywhere, not just around here, and I don't necessarily think it's their fault. I blame a lack of media literacy, messed up attention spans, along with me being boring. You know what? Let's start there. If you see the thumbnail and title of my video that I've probably changed like 10 times and you click on it, it's up to me to retain your viewership and maintain your interest. Or autoplay sends them to me and my stuff comes on after FD Signifier or Legia Miller or Reese Waters is done. And if I can get viewers to consistently stay tuned for more than half of an episode, which is like an eighth of the time it takes for them to get signified, YouTube will send my videos out to people who will also deem me to be their favorite underrated channel.
Supposed to make me feel better?
Still trying to figure out how to become overrated? Nah, that can't be right. And I don't know if that's a matter of gaining a certain number of views. It's hard enough to get subscribers, likes, or dislikes if that's still an option, and comments. That's engagement. Everybody wants this. The devil's in the details, though. As a comedy channel that features political satire, a host, such as myself, is supposed to edutain. Teach a thing or 3 while going in on federal and state and local government officials and cover where and how culture and civics collide. I'm not going to pretend like jokes are an excuse to spew nonsense and all my material lands with impeccable delivery and my sense of humor is relatable, please. I spend a lot of time finding random clips from the big and little screen saying the exact same thing to include in my content in order to prove my point. And I don't need you to act like you're impressed.
That's supposed to make me feel better.
It will be nice, though.
What, is that supposed to make me feel better or something?
But in focusing on media literacy issues, you know, the people who probably need a laugh track to go with the punchline, who can't compute sarcasm and would walk into this estate sale without saying, wait, I didn't think this house was haunted in the first place. I definitely do now. By the way, to the ones listening to this instead of watching, like I asked, I'm sorry for not showing you what amounts to inside jokes. How about next episode we smooth this over with some love deluxe and a little rinse. Keep your hands visible. I'm not the only one getting folks who troll because they can't make better arguments, and bigger accounts have it worse off than me. But if you're not on this platform, picture those who think they're the GOAT of reading people, but they're perpetually on the first chapter of every book like LeBron James. To them, Sinners is a period piece about sharecroppers on the Mississippi Delta. That's it. Nothing else. They don't think they're white supremacists, but they perish at the thought of the KKK getting popped. Word to cognitive dissonance.
Got people, they're coming here and they're taking all of our jobs.
Well, and they don't want to work. A lot of them don't want to work.
They're taking our jobs and they don't want to work.
Exactly.
Have you ever heard of cognitive dissonance?
Yeah, kind of lately, just as of lately.
There's a lot of it lately. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance.
In a society such as ours, if you were going to agree with me before the video begins, then you're going to agree with me after it ends. I'm not going to change minds. I don't aim to do so, but according to my comments, I have a problem with people having a different political opinion. Apparently, the Afro-mans of the world don't have to answer for their bad, dumb, wrong, or harmful takes. And I'm not supposed to address them or speak on another man based on what other men unironically say to me, another man. Oh, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I can't be corrected. I don't want to be a part of misinformation or disinformation. I regularly learn something new from the comments. Feel free to fact check. But I go borderline crazy due to confirmation bias, having peeps thinking I said something that I ultimately didn't say. At times it's how we take things, and we got to be honest about it. Then, since I don't like to watch myself, I got to go back and reread parts of my scripts, or in one case, looking up phonetics when I know I said a name right for once.
My true Nigerian name, or the true Nigerian pronunciation, or as close as I can get to it, is Bola Shade, which means crowning glory. Or I could have been called Sade, and I was called Sade. Sade, really. But in England, everybody goes Sade. In America, people tend to go Sade.
I've also been told that I go on too many tangents and my narrative storytelling is hard to follow, and so on. And with my audio echoey at best, in spite of me having these soft egg carton things right in front of me, I find myself thankful that anyone watches for any amount of time. Even the trolls. They're helping with the click-through rate, but destroying average view duration and audience retention. See, we do this not because it is easy, but because we thought it would be. Creators suggesting that we fast forward 2x speed through their TikToks, placing how long the video is somewhere on the screen. Articles that we read do the same, and if they don't, we check to see how big or small this scroll status bar is on the right for the sake of instant stimulation and gratification. And look at me. I'm not helping with your attention span, telling you to watch me while busy doing other stuff. Netflix is trying to adjust plots to make up for people who watch movies while on their phones. We're cooked. There has to be a limit to how short attention spans can get, and time is valuable. It's also money and moves forward. However, if you just give me a minute, I can give you nuance, details, Easter eggs, subtle foreshadowing. Be sure to check my t-shirt just in case. Subverting expectations so that, like Sinners, what I'm really about will be revealed in the second half.
Like, there are some people who think that my husband is racist because he worked for a certain channel. I'm gonna look in that camera right there and let everybody know my husband is not a racist.
Right back to trying to figure out who's MAGA. Or no, wait, y'all clan? How does my mic sound now? Tamera Mowry, twin sister of Tia Mowry, better known as Sister, or these days, Sister. Tamera has been married to former Fox News correspondent Adam Housley since 2011. He was a journalist and news correspondent with that company for 17 years. And before I continue, you can be married to someone outside of your race and still be racist. Just because they like, for example, a black person doesn't mean they like black people. Tamera could be MAGA adjacent, which would make her MAGA. And if you didn't know, her mom is black and her dad is white. So what we don't need is assumptions and stereotypes around here.
So I made a sandwich and I had some mayonnaise and I said, Adam, do you want a lot of mayo on your sandwich? Tamera, I don't like mayo just because I'm white. I actually hate mayo. So I was... Thank you, Adam, for teaching me that not all white people like mayonnaise.
For what it's worth, in 2018, right around the time he left Fox, Adam Housley tweeted that he and Tamera did not support Trump or Hillary, and nowhere has there ever been anything said to prove such. And I don't know, both siding the death of Trayvon Martin and not knowing that you can be white and Hispanic seems on brand for MAGA. More recently, he tweeted, as a kid who grew up in neighborhood grocery stores since I was 5, I can't tell you how many times I saw people come in and buy crap food for their kids with food stamps, then open their wallet and use cash for liquor, beer, wine, and cigarettes. And I would argue that what's in other people's shopping carts and grocery bags isn't his business. And if someone were to say that through his tax dollars, Housley put in on what many eat, well, no, not when he was 5, but okay. But his political ideology is writing checks that millions of Americans can't cash. Who he voted for and the politicians he and his wife support is everybody's business. A few Threads users must have remembered what Adam Housley said about food stamps and EBT usage. Tamera, that's what they called her on Threads when she popped out on that app and said, I'm new here. She was met with questions about who she voted for and how she feels about J6. She eventually deleted her account, but then brought it back, I think. And I can't stress enough, there's a difference between voting for someone and supporting them. I'm simply trying to point out who holds the values and ideas behind what's causing her pain. It be your own ones.
Like, what do they say? Called white man's whore. The new one was...
God, Tamera.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, you cost $300, but now you're giving it to him for free. Like, stuff that...
Tia and Tamera on my show, I'm a smart guy. I assumed that it was MAGA being racist, but white leftists can be racist too. And colorism from black people was at play also. Tia married a black man and she was told that she wasn't good enough for a white man. Kind of seems like no matter what, black women are being harmed.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman.
That was Rosanda Chilli Thomas of TLC and My Teenage Dreams, responding to reports that she reposted a conspiracy theory about Michelle Obama being a man on Instagram. I've accidentally reposted something on the gram, so I kind of get it, although this might mean that posts from the Red Pill Press are on her feed. Makes sense. She likes a lot of what Representative Byron Donalds puts out there. Chilli has also donated to Trump and MAGA Republicans. She apologized and said that she does not support any of the many policies causing great harm to the American people. She claims that she is not MAGA and that she thought she was supporting causes against human trafficking and for veterans. And she must think we're silly hoes.
You guys are about to nominate the biggest jackass in the history of politics. Straight up, period.
I think you're really going to win.
This is an all hip hop exclusive.
My group member voted for him.
Chilli's bandmate, T-Boz, also said in 2017, some of my friends voted for him. I can't understand it, but I wonder if they're happy now. Like, are you happy that you did this to us? It also didn't help because of what my group member said right before me about all lives matter, I got blamed for that too. So Tamera needs to see T-Boz. MAGA is making all of us miserable, whether you're a part of the movement or not. And when I took time to investigate the matter, trolls whose brand of comedy is clicking on my videos and basing my content on the title and thumbnail and others' comments, those who did the same, while telling me something I later said but avoided watching past the first 30 seconds because I'm boring, or their media literacy is poor, or their attention spans are bad. Like I said in my Afro Man video, I will actively avoid TV, movies, music, and more from Trumpers. I'm judging them by the content of their character, by their beliefs and values, and who they're in proximity with, not by the color of their skin like they asked. I'm okay with people having a different opinion than me. I'm not okay with those opinions leading to voting polls and negatively impacting people's lives and livelihood. Anyways, thanks for watching or listening to this entire episode and commenting now-ish. We're gonna be all right.
How exactly that's supposed to make me feel better?